Welcome to the Car Guy channel. We say it every week, all the time. We got a fantastic show, but I mean we got a fantastic show. This show's themed all around a car that is a 50th anniversary. The 50th anniversary for the iconic Ford Mustang. I'm going to tell you, we're going to go to where, out in Milpitas, where the original Ford plant really started the birth of these cars. Actually started in Detroit, but when they came out to build them, they needed to build these cars so fast. We're going to tell you all about it from soup to nuts, start to finish. We're going to cover all the avenues. This show is all about Mustangs and all about what you guys like to hear. I want to thank you again for all your cards and letters. You guys have asked for this. I pulled them out. Pulled some cars out of my private collection to show you guys. I don't get them out all the time, and it was pretty neat to get them all out there. Estelle's going crazy getting pictures and going over all the cars. People are pulling in, but hey, I don't want to spoil the show for you. Sit down, get yourself a cold one, because we got a great show. Doing a show about the Mustangs, the 50 years of Mustang. Mustang has been one of the most popular cars ever built in the world, but it's fitting to go ahead and show you guys and to give you a little bit of history of the Ford plant. The Ford plant actually went out in 1983, but 1955 is when they opened. When they opened the Ford plant over in Milpitas, there were over 3,000 acres of farmlands and dairies, and you kind of name it. When Ford came in, it was a huge part of the industry for San Jose and for Milpitas. So in 1955 is when the Ford plant opened. And to tell you a little more history about the Ford plant, talking about the Mustangs, in April of 1964, they sold so many Mustangs, they had to go ahead and convert all the plants. The New Jersey plant, the California plant, and of course in Detroit. So 3 factories were building Mustangs. And back in the 50s, these guys here were producing cars, 55 cars and 22 trucks per hour. If you sit down, use the calculator, and do the math, you're going to figure out they produced a lot of cars in the 50s. When the Mustang came in 1964, we're going to show you how the math works out on that, because the first year was nearly over 100,000 cars per year. Their projection was 80,000. In the early 70s, Ford went through all sorts of changes with Mustang, and they decided to make the Mustang a little bit more of a family sport car, a little more on the luxury line. So they went ahead and made them a little more heavier, a little more longer, a little bit wider. And they had a handful of different engine options for these. This happens to be a 351 with a 2-barrel carburetor and an automatic transmission. This car came with a lot of options with air conditioning, power steering, power brakes, and a lot of things to make this car here run and drive. What was really neat about this was a one-owner car. I believe in my life that a car is only original once in its lifetime. We went ahead and color sanded and buffed this car. It's been sitting in the garage. I consider this a very rare garage find. Because of rules and regulations by the state of California and of course all the states, bumpers had to be modified. 73 was the first year of going to a full, complete, solid bumper. So they were not a chrome bumper that went across the front or a chrome bumper to cross the back of the car. These were safety issues that the safety manufacturers wanted them to do. And the colors, they had a lot of color options with these. This is a phenomenal driving car and a very, very, very fun car to drive. All these are highly collectible. And again, we talk about vinyl roofs on it. Vinyl roof to me is a plus. And they had all different models again with Mustang. They had the Grande, they had all sorts of models, but this happens to have the vinyl roof on the car for being a sports car.